Welcome to the Gangcast, aka the Games and Not Games podcast. I'm Janet Garcia, and joining me as always is Isaiah Smith.
Hello.
Hello. Today we will be talking about some of what we've been playing, including games like Love Eternal and God of War Sons of Sparta for the game section of the show. And we will be talking about the Porsche Experience Center in Los Angeles for the not game section of the show.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Fast cars go vroom vroom.
Yeah, cars go vroom.
Or not, because it's electric. I don't know.
I mean, it's still vroom, right? Kind of.
Yeah.
They go murr.
We'll talk about it.
Yeah, I don't know. And then as like a acknowledgement of, we don't really do like news coverage in the show unless we just sort of like catch a vibe for it, or sometimes we'll do more like play-based news, like if it's a like roundup of like the Game Awards or whatever, stuff like that. But it's been like another terrible week for games with like Blue Point getting shut down, and then literally the day we're recording this on Friday, the news broke that like Phil Spencer is retiring, Sarah Bond is gone. I think Matt Booty got promoted to like maybe second in command. I really haven't had time to dig into the stories. And then the I'm forgetting the woman's name offhand, but the previous, if you want to like look that up, but the previous head of AI at Microsoft is now going to be the one leading Xbox, which is like
Sarah Bond?
No, not Sarah Bond. The new person.
Oh, it's like, yes.
I forget her name because I wasn't familiar with who the head of AI at Microsoft was, but get to know her, everybody. It's the new head of Xbox.
Asha Sharma.
Yeah. So, I mean, not a lot to say on this topic, but I thought it'd be kind of good to acknowledge because it's like the big thing that happened this week in games. I feel like not every day, it's a little dramatic, but like there's so many L's that have happened within Xbox, and it's honestly just shocking that things can even exist this bad into the ego. Like I figured it would have died before getting as bad as it's gotten. And yeah, it feels like worse is still to come before the whole thing maybe just eventually shutters, which will be obviously like devastating to the industry at large, to like lose Xbox, not just like the games and IP. I mean, I'm sure that'll get like sold off and like spread around and things, but that's just gonna like create endless waves of devastation in terms of like the development workforce, the studios that they own. I mean, they had that big acquisition, like it's bad. So even if you don't like Xbox games or play on Xbox, like it still has like an impact on like the industry. So yeah, more of that to come as things develop. What was your, like, where were you when you heard the news? I was streaming, what is that game called? Yap Yap? Yap Yap with Remap, which is like the most unserious way to get news. Yeah. But yeah, I was just like, holy cow. And then I like quickly wrote the information to our family group chat just because I'm, I know y'all always hit me up about like, oh, did you see this thing? And so yeah, that's where I was. And it was like, damn. Where were you at, and what was your like gut reaction to things?
I think I was in like a work meeting when I read your message.
Classic.
And I was like, wait, what? And just started going online trying to find information without looking too distracted from the meeting.
Right, yeah.
It's definitely one of those situations.
Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting chunk of time coming up. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing, hopefully we get some like additional reporting on this, obviously, as like games media continues to be like devastated as well. We lose a lot of reporters and thus reporting in the space. But hopefully we can, get additional insight into that. And obviously the new head is like, I love video games and we're going to like make sure the things that work keep on working, which also like what is working? Seemingly nothing. But yeah, I mean, I don't buy that for a second at all. Yeah, the previous head of AI is like, we're not going to just put AI in everything. Come on.
Yeah.
Anyway, but
we'll see.
Anyway,
we will see.
It's not looking good.
I hope.
Good luck for those new games that are coming to the pipeline from Xbox that seemed that they could be cool. Anyway, all right. Ready to get into games? Even that's also games, but let's talk about the games that we are playing. We got Love Eternal and God of War Sons of Sparta. We'll kick things off with Love Eternal because it's the first of these games that we played. So we're kind of going in chronological order.
Yeah.
Because we started this a number of weeks ago during like the embargo period.
Really, we started it even earlier.
I mean, the embargo period is earlier than the release date.
At GDC.
Oh, okay, like previewing.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, not even GDC. We previewed it at PAX.
Or as a PAX, rather. Yeah.
Yeah. This is a game that we previewed a number of, at least 1 year ago, maybe more, as part of Yeastbeard's offerings. That's the publisher of the game. The developer is Brika. And we played the first couple like little sections.
Handful of levels, yeah.
Yeah. What would you, how would you set up what Love Eternal is?
Love Eternal is a gravity flipping platformer.
Yeah.
Where, and similar to VVV, as far as I know, if you took that with like a little bit of that like Celeste Meat Boy kind of formula, right? Or of like more Celeste, I guess, in that like as you're platforming around, you can, you reset your jumps when you land, and Meat Boy comes in with like a little bit of the environments of like, oh, dodge the spikes here or something like that. Or like, oh, there's like it's not like a rotary saw, but like, something that's like equivalent to like a rotary saw that you have to like dodge or avoid as you're like gravity flipping through a level or something like that. So if you like those kinds of games, this might be something that is up your alley.
Which would you say you like those kinds of games?
I would say I do not like those kinds of games. I really like Celeste. I think Celeste is stupid good. But I think Celeste is the like exception that proves the rule kind of thing, where like normally I am not into just difficult platformers. I can do them, but like very quickly I stop having fun if it is just like if the cliffs that I get to are just too steep. It's like, well, I could do this, but I'm not having fun doing this, so I'm just not gonna do this.
Would you say this game is harder than Celeste?
Ooh, I would say yes, but more so because like I think Celeste never. This is gonna sound like it's a real drag for Love Eternal, and it's not the case. I don't think Celeste ever really like overstayed its welcome with any of the mechanics. Whereas this, there isn't like a huge evolution in mechanics that you get,
and it is more like Meat Boy in that way, where it feels like a little more repetitive.
Yes. So like for Celeste, it was like as soon as I started to get tired or bored with a thing, it was gone, and they moved on to something else. It was like, okay, great, this is perfect. Whereas this, it's more like, no, we're gonna make sure that you are great at flipping the gravity and doing these platforms and jumps and stuff like that. I did really love the like puzzle element to each level and everything like that, especially like as you get into some of the more complex like rooms where you're like backtracking in order to keep like progress forward and things like that.
In Love Eternal.
Love Eternal. But I would not say I am a fan of this genre.
What made you, because it's not even spoilers, you stopped playing this game.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I stopped playing.
What made you...
How far would you say I got?
Maybe like an hour, maybe 2.
Like progress-wise. Like, was it like 2/3 the way through? Was it like halfway through? It felt like at least half.
You were like a little under half. I would say like maybe 35, 40%. Yeah. Because you dipped like when we were still doing like the platforming. Which you do platforming throughout the game, but like it kind of has a moment where it shifts more into like a narrative component. Like,
oh, okay.
Like this game plays with genre a bit at a certain point and kind of does like some dips into other genres, and I don't think you experienced any of that. Correct?
Not
you would know.
Really.
Yeah, you would know, because it's like
I got into like some of the like.
It'd be like if you started. This doesn't happen in the game, but if you started painting, it's like you never painted, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you like saw like cutscenes and stuff. And, like walked a little bit, but no. So I would say just guessing without like checking my clock or thinking about like the exact progression or whatever. Yeah. Close to half.
Okay. All right. Well. Yeah, and that was enough for me. I was like, man,
what made you leave?
I can put this down. I think it was a little bit of what made me also bounce off of Meat Boy, where it's just like I just felt like I was running into a wall over and over again. And again, I could make I was making progress. It would take me longer and longer to do each level to a degree, but like at a certain point, I just stopped finding that fun. And I was like, you know what, I'd
Is it
rather
just the
just
amount
do
of
anything else with
time?
my time.
Is it the amount of time that makes you not find that fun?
More the maybe you could just call this a skill issue, right? It's like more the having to, through trial and error, develop the muscle memory for one small, like, singular puzzle room and then immediately throw that away as soon as the next one comes.
Yeah.
Like the investment to beat a singular level without anything really like that skill translating forward just got too much for me.
Yeah. It was interesting seeing the crash out in real time where you were like,
it was so stupid.
You just bounced. Nothing was, in my perspective, nothing was different about the game. I feel like you just decided you didn't want to do it anymore. Yeah. Which is your right as a human being. I love difficult precision platformers. I love them and I'm good at them. And it was really fun when we were playing together and we were kind of like pseudo competing in the rooms, like who could finish the room first, which honestly, like, and that's also where it's like, it's interesting where I feel like it is a combo of skill, but also the mental fortitude, like, which this sounds so mean, but you lack the mental fortitude to like do these games, which is fine because you don't want to, like, you don't need to have it,
I guess.
Like, they beat you up here before they beat you over here at one point in my mind.
Sure,
and
yeah. No, like, I got tired of the game
because you would beat me a lot in the, like, these, you know, mini competitions we had.
Pretty comparable, yeah.
We were like pretty close, but I think if I wrote down all like the times, you finished rooms faster than me usually.
I guess.
Only a little bit.
Yeah.
But
sure.
also, but who got across the finish line?
Yeah, no.
It's because of the mental fortitude.
Sure. If that's what you want to call it.
Which this goes back to my,
means.
If you've been listening to the show for a long time, my working theory on Isaiah, which is that you don't like you're not used to failing because you're really good at a lot of things. And I think this is that also coming to a head.
No.
It all connects.
I do not think this was It
all connects.
The whole point of it is that it's challenging. I can understand
right, but you
that.
want a challenge you can do, and if you feel like you can't really do it,
I could do it. I have no doubt that I could have. Yeah, I didn't want to because it got boring. I got tired of doing it. It didn't change up enough to push me to keep wanting to go through this dredge.
I kind of understand it, but at the same time, if you happen to just be able to do it faster, you probably wouldn't have quit.
I feel like a game needs to be. I don't know how much you ever did any like psychology and stuff like that.
A little bit.
There's
2 classes or something.
I'm sure you came across these graphs and stuff like that, and just like as a gamer, right? Where it's like the difficult. I forget what the other axis is, but it's like it's like a area of difficulty that you want the gamer to be in. That's too low and it's not engaging enough. Too high and it's too annoying. And what you want to do is be in the middle there. You want as a gamer progresses in a game and you put bigger challenges in front of them, they have developed skills and they have tools at their disposal that allows them to overcome them challenges, and it keeps the whole game engaging. I think I very much topped out of that ideal area in this game, and I had no desire to then continue, kind of thing. Like, I could continue. I want the people to know that this game did not beat me. I quit this game.
I don't know. It's kind of giving like, it's not that I couldn't get her, it's that I didn't want her. It's like, I feel like you were into her though, and then like y'all just stopped talking. You know what I mean? Like little bit.
No.
I mean, I think also too, by your own admission, you're just not a big fan of this type of game, and it's more of an exception for you to like it than likelihood.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
but again, the psychology of why you don't like it. I think
the beginning of it, and this isn't going to turn into like a full review episode or anything like that, but like I think the beginning of this game is really good in like the way it introduces new mechanics. Yeah. Or at least like new environmental puzzles that you have to like solve in order to progress through a level.
Things like hitting a switch for a platform to move, or like opening a doorway,
every,
or whatever.
Couple rooms, you're getting something new. You're getting like, oh, okay, cool. Oh, now I get additional flips when I'm in the air if I hit this thing or do that or third. Blah blah blah. Cool, great. But then after a while, they stopped adding new and just started doing more. Yeah, and that is uninteresting to me. I would have. It's like you got to just snake around this long, winding path of spikes, and it's like you could have did this You could have gave me like half this room, and that would have been enough to just get me to the next.
I
like,
know,
I'm
but
not doing anything in
but
the
part
second
of
half.
part
kind
of the
thing.
challenge
They
that
stopped being
these
puzzles. That's what it was.
Okay, sure, but I mean, I don't think Celeste is like a puzzle. Is very puzzly either. It's actually less puzzly, I think, even in this game. It's pretty straightforward. Like we have to do.
The Celeste room, I think, as a whole, is very good at showing you the challenge of like it asks you to do like kind of one challenge, maybe like 2, maybe 3 things, but like this was packing on like 7, 8 things,
and that's
that you
why
had
this
to
is
do
more
in a
closer to
single
Super
room.
Meat. This is closer to Super Meat Boy because part of what the challenge they're presenting isn't just the ability to execute something difficult, but it's the endurance to be able to do it several times over.
Yeah,
like but because they are small, again, much like Super Meat Boy, it is kind of like why if you're running for, you know, PRing kind of thing, a 5K, they say the 5K is as hard as like the marathon for PRing and stuff, because it's like, well, you think, oh, well, it's way shorter. It's like, yes, it's shorter, but that means that you have to be going really fast and you have to race perfectly because you only have 5 kilometers to work with. And that's kind of what Love Eternal is operating on as well. I also think just, again, not to just keep comparing the game to Celeste, but I think part of the appeal of Celeste, I mean, there's many things. It's a masterpiece of a video game. No one's really touching Celeste. Super Meat Boy don't touch Celeste, which is crazy because I think I might. Would I make Super Meat Boy a masterpiece? Maybe. Yeah, I think in some ways it is. In what it's doing, but anyway, it's neither here nor there. I think Celeste also just like offers other things, and that's kind of what makes it the exception for a lot of players. The narrative, the music, the art direction. Like Celeste is beautiful to look at. This game, respectfully, is not beautiful to look at. It looks like very simplistic, minimalistic, but it's purposeful in its gameplay mechanics, and I think the platforming is really great. Funnily enough, a couple things. One, I wouldn't literally pay anything for this because I'd rather spend my money elsewhere, but I would give anything to have you do that, like the last room that you have to do, platforming wise, is wildly hard. It took me a really long time. I spent a long time on it, and then I stopped for the day. I came back the next day, and it still took me a long time. Like the refresh did not even really help me, like kind of at all.
Yeah.
But I did it, and I beat the game. The thing about this game though is, as much as I enjoy the precision platforming a lot, I do think the game sort of does fumble with the other thing that's presenting, which is like it's both a precision platformer and also a psychological horror video game of having this like eerie, vague story of, you know, you're this girl and you're with your family, but then you're in this other environment and it's, oh, what's going on with the family? What? I came back and my dad's like kind of a spider guy. Then I'm back in the world again. And these are all like things that are really early in the game, so as to not spoil like where the story goes. But at a certain point, the game kind of presents itself as having like precision platforming, and then every like couple kind of rooms, you get like a little sprinkle of some narrative via like a quick image or a short cutscene or like a slightly longer cutscene. And that's kind of like setting the tone and also setting up some mystery to like what's going on. Okay, we have this repetition of the family. We know something's up with the family. As after you quit the game, and I kept playing, I did more platforming, but then I also like ended up going into like these genre pivots of like introducing other, you know, gameplay elements where it's like, hey, we're gonna stop platforming for a little while and do something a little bit more narrative heavy, which was really cool. I was like, oh, this is interesting. It's like I'm seeing the environment from like a new perspective, and I'm getting like more context to like what happened in the story. But you don't really get like, you kind of get more questions than answers pretty much, but the questions are presented in a way that's very compelling. You know, you get some good unsettling characters introduced. Like it's very what's the word, uncanny valley is like what this game's kind of going for in a lot of ways, and it nails that feeling. It scared the hell out of me several times, but as I was like 2/3 in, well, one, I said, Isaiah, you were right to quit this game because I know you're tasting games and you would hate this. You would think it's just artsy bullshit. And then as I was going, I was like, if this doesn't pay out at the end, it is going to be artsy bullshit. And frankly, for me, it did not pay out at the end. Damn. I did not like what I got at the end. I did not feel like it did anything. I feel like it was a whole lot of nothing. And frankly, at the end of the day, don't recommend the game as a result, even though I love precision platforming, and I think that elements of the game are like good, but holistically, like you don't need to play this. Is my take on it. Which I don't have a big sense of the general critical opinion of Love Eternal yet. Obviously we could just look at the Metacritic or whatever, but my colleague Patrick really likes it. I think I don't know if it's in his top 10 currently, but like he was very hot on it. My colleague Jill Grode over on the Indie Informer is also very hot on it. I see that it's sitting at a 77 on Metacritic, so obviously some people aren't as hot on it as others. But I haven't, like, from peer to peer, I haven't met like another peer yet who's shared my frustrations. That being said, I feel very confident in the things I did not like about this game. So yeah, unfortunately, this kind of ended up being like, flop is a little dramatic because I do think it does some cool things, but like it didn't hit. And I had gone into this being like, this is one of my kind of most anticipated games of the year. Like I was very hot on what I previewed of it. And even as I was playing it, I was like, wow, this is awesome. Like we had a couple nights where we were like, man, let's more Love Eternal. And it was like, yum, fill up my plate. And then you were like, I'm full. And I'm like, more Love Eternal for me. And then I was like, actually, Isaiah, that third course and the dessert, not good. So,
I mean, I wanted to love this game. I drafted this game in our fantasy critic. Yeah. And to be fair, it got me a good amount of points. I
mean, not really, like 7.
Well, not anymore now. It started off, I think, a lot higher, but it's like, I don't know. There's a demo for the game available on Steam. If you do like these like difficult platformers, if you liked,
but warning, the demo will only show you the good parts of the game that's which people can do what they want.
But if that's enough of a good to get you through, like.
But again, people can do what they want. I don't ever want to discourage someone from like, hey man, try game. You know, I enjoy just playing games to like have opinions on them, and also I obviously enjoy playing them for the like for funsies part as well. But it is a game where it's like, if I only played 50% of it, I'd be like, I played an awesome video game. And then when I played 100% of it, I was like, actually, I played a game that did not work. Like fundamentally, I don't think this game works. For like to me and for me. Obviously other people have felt like that it works for them. I will say that of the peers I've talked to, I've yet to talk to anyone who like understands what happened in the story. They're like, that's kind of the point. And I'm like, and
I hate that.
So for me, I'm in between. Like I think you can do vague mystery storytelling, but only if the presentation of the story and the way it melds the gameplay supports doing that. Like for instance, I think like I know Inside's a little like that. I forget how much Limbo's like that. But like those games have elements of vague storytelling. Like you don't know what's going on. Like
Limbo, real vague.
Like you don't really like have a full like if we all wrote like the book report, we'd have like slightly different things. But we still have a general like through line on some of the things that are happening. And also those stories are, and I do think the phrase vibes based gets a little overused, and even me, I overuse it a bit. But those are more like vibes based. They're more setting the scene. We know something eerie is happening. We know this kid's in danger. We see potential, like, you know, in the case of Inside, there's some type of experiments happening. Is this a government facility? Is it like something different? And those questions are like cool and fun and fine, but I don't think my appreciation for the gameplay or even the story is dependent on having that answer. It doesn't really matter if it's a government facility or a military base or a different planet. Like it wouldn't change anything about how I perceive the story of Inside, how I feel in the moments when I play Inside. It's just kind of like, it's fun that there's a little bit of a mystery to it, and they lean into that. But also, they're not spending a long sequence of time in Inside on the story to then also not pay it out. And my beef with Love Eternal is it gets a little bit too direct without actually giving me any like concrete information. Like I think you can only do the like trust where I'm going if you end up going somewhere. And I felt like they spent like too much time being like, and now we're gonna like lay it all out there. And I'm like, cool, what are these pieces I have and what does this mean? And they said, thank you for playing. And I said, what? Like when I ended this game, I messaged Patrick and I said, is this the end of the game? Because I genuinely thought maybe I need to like boot it up again and like play more of it or something, because it just like wasn't anything to me. Which did end up making a really disappointing experience. So even though I did like, I like the precision platforming and I think that part's fun, but I also think to that end, find a different precision platformer than at that point for me personally. And I don't know how you kind of wrap up your feelings of Love Eternal. Again, you did kind of quit it earlier, so I don't know if that's like, but also you admit that that's not really kind of your game.
Yeah.
What's your final word to the people on Love Eternal?
It is a game that for me was disappointing in that like what I thought I was going to get is not what I got. But they did give me, I guess, what they sold me. I just thought I could like it more than I did. And I didn't. And that's like sad to me, you know?
To your point, I do think, while I really like the precision platforming overall, I did find that it wasn't like as innovative or like dynamic as other ones. And ultimately, too, by the time I got to the end of it, I also felt like I wish there was like more platforming in this platformer because we spent a lot of time doing other stuff, which could be fine if you did the other stuff well. But then you know, so yeah, it's definitely an interesting project for sure. So yeah, another Use Beard game, and now God of War for Sparta. I was like trying to think of like what's a classic God of War line I could say to you, and I couldn't think of anything.
Man, that's nothing. I think is there's a lot of like pull quotes you could do from like that Kratos has said over the years, but none of I think fit this game.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they're they're brothers, right? So
they are brothers. So yeah, what is God of War Sons of Sparta?
God of War Sons of Sparta is the game that you forgot to play on PSP kind of vibe. That's it's one of those titles. This is a game that is developed by Megacat Studios, which is an indie developer, but also, at least to my knowledge, like either fully written or partially written by like the proper like narrative team that belongs to like Sony Santa Monica. So it's kind of a collaboration between AAA and indie. And this is a prequel to God of War that goes over what was Kratos getting up to when he was in Sparta with his brother Deimos.
I think
Deimos.
Deimos. I don't know.
Anyway,
they say it like one, a couple times.
Him and his brother are out in Sparta, and it's kind of told from the perspective of like he's telling his daughter Calliope this story, and the story that he's telling is the game that we're playing. So sometimes we get little bits of like older Kratos being like, that's how it was back then or whatever. Yeah. And then you'd be like, I guess this is how it is. And you start stabbing people. The combat's with the spear primarily. You have some like magical abilities, like gifts of Olympus or whatever. And the most important thing to mention that I probably should have started with at the top is it is a metroidvania. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's 2D, pixel art style, but like not technically pixel art because they're like 3D model. I don't know.
It looks like 3D.
I'm not a scientist. I'm not
like
really
a
sure.
Pixel art shader on it, kind of thing.
Yeah,
but some stuff does look like animated 2D pixel art. So it's I don't know. I think that is cool.
Yeah, and it has it's carrying a lot of PSP energy, which is why I mentioned the PSP of it all. We are probably at this point 8+ hours into it.
Yeah.
About.
I'm definitely more than I've put into Love Eternal. I can tell you that.
Yeah, well, it's also a longer game than Love Eternal. I should note that Love Eternal is like pretty short. I don't know if the How Long to Beat is up yet on Love Eternal. I forget how long I played it. You can also look for that while you grab the How Long to Beat. But I played Love Eternal for like 6 hours. I imagine the How Long to Beat is around that area.
Don't even have a How Long to Beat yet.
All right, well,
yeah.
I say it's 6 hours.
Yeah.
God of War Sons of Sparta. What do you make of it?
It like the How Long to Beat?
No, like what do you think of it?
Oh, I think
and do you recommend it to people? And then we'll kind of like do a full loop.
Yeah,
we'll loop back around, much like the genre constructs it as,
I recommend God of War Sons of Sparta, but with like a pretty bold asterisk to it, in that like the game has nothing that is probably gonna wow you. But if you don't need to be wild, there's like really just good time there.
Yeah,
like this is one of those 7s that you might love to play. Yeah. It's not going to be great. It's not going to be good. It's not going to win awards.
It might even be a 6 that you're able to play, depending on the day.
It might be a 6.
I'm caught between like, as the kids say, 6 and 7.
But I'll tell you what, I like this game more than Love Eternal.
Oh man, it pains me to say I like this game more than Love Eternal, but that is true for me.
And I think
personally.
it's better than Love Eternal, which
I hate that. I really do hate that, but I'm sadly agreeing.
More, yeah, like there's just more to like here.
But it's less interesting than Love Eternal.
Story wise, yeah.
I think gameplay wise, it's also kind of less interesting.
No, the fact that there's
bosses
and
another idea,
and
the Battle of the Sixes, and we like bracket the people always doing really the greatest game of all time bracket.
Yeah,
let's take games that we agree aren't that good, and we debate on which one's better. Yeah. Write that down somewhere because I don't feel like typing over to Trello. Yeah, my take on this game, high level, is pretty similar to yours. I think if this is a good game, it is barely good. It might just be an okay game. I have not decided yet. I think this is a game do I recommend this game? I think I technically do as well, but you have to be like a sicko. Like I'm not gonna like if you're just looking for like, hey, I want to play a good video game. I'm not coming to you with God of War Sons of Sparta. Not because I don't think it's good. Again, kind of haven't decided on that yet. But because I'm not confident in its quality. Like it's like a shaky level of good. This is a game that you will enjoy if you're, and you don't need all of these things, but these are things that like kind of help. Like who's this game for? Who's going to connect to this game? It's you, it's me. Why? At least speaking for myself, it's because I love God of War. Like I played the OG trilogy back in the day. I played the 2018 and beyond time. I played Chains of Olympus on the PSP. I enjoy God of War. I like metroidvanias. I like the general look of it. I know some people aren't into. They're like, oh, I don't like how it looks. It looks cheap. I think it looks good. I like how it looks.
It does look cheap. I think
you think it looks cheap. Wow.
It looks not cheap.
I think sometimes it does look good though.
I think it looks like.
And the backgrounds are all like nice.
The backgrounds and environmental like setting, great.
That's most of what it is.
I know, but
it's
as
just
soon
like
as you
the guys.
see anything in motion, as soon as you see any character in motion or like Kratos do something or a move or something like that, it's like, oh, this looks really.
But does it look cheap or does it look retro? I think it looks retro.
I guess it looks retro.
And back then we were kind of, scraping by. Scrappy vibes,
This is in my head is what like the old school Prince of Persia like looked like. You know what I mean? The Lion King on NES or whatever it was, or Aladdin like back on the GBA like that. This is embodying that.
I think part of what makes it maybe unappealing to some is that like there's a level of like grittiness and like kind of like harsher line work to the art sometimes. It's like a little thick without being like feeling like it's intentionally thick. Maybe that's kind of part of it. Like, I don't know. And I think you also need to be basic. You need to be someone who's willing and ready and low-key a little excited to do the same thing over and over again, but have it be just slightly different enough that you're like, I'm kind of into this. You also need to be someone that has a little bit of, for lack of a better term, morbid curiosity. Like, can I give you just enough good stuff that you keep turning the page, wondering what's next, knowing in your heart that there's no way it's going to be good enough to redeem what came before, but being like, I want to see what you do with it. Because that's really why I'm still playing God of War Sons of Sparta. I don't think it's like that good of a game. If it is a good game, there's much better games I can play. I don't think this is like, I'm going to have, in a way, I'm not going to really gain anything from being this game, but I will gain the knowledge of what the rest of the game is. And I want that, even though it's like, what are they going to do? Probably something kind of disappointing.
Yeah.
Because that's all they've done. But I want to know what they're doing.
Interesting in that disappointment.
Yeah, like I'm fascinated by this game and compelled to play it. One, because it's kind of like, it's sort of like, you know how there's some snack foods are just better than others?
Sure.
You know, like if we're tiering them, like cosmic brownies are like pretty high up there, but like something that isn't as strong, but that I would still eat would be like, what?
Payday.
Oh, no, I don't really like the Payday like that.
This is a Payday game to me.
This is controversial, but I'm not that into like the Hostess cupcakes. They're kind of dry.
That's fair.
So like, let's take that as an example.
Fair.
It's
Sure.
like, oh, I'm not really like getting these a lot, but I like it enough. And if you're if you want something chocolatey, you don't really give a fuck that it's kind of dry, you know? It's like, and then like, again, and I know if you like Hostess cupcakes, this is going to be slander, but it's like, it's got that weird, like the cake is moist, but then the top is like kind of weirdly like dry, but then it's kind of nice that it's dry. Like the way you bite it, like it's like something about it is like it's familiar, and I think the level of familiarity this game has, if you're someone that's heavy into the Metroidvania genre, is compelling. It's like I want to sit down and see what's going on. I want to see how they handle the rest of the stuff. I want to see how they like it. It's this weird, I think, almost like, to me, playing this game feels a little bit like a genre study, because I think there's enough good in it that it's like enjoyable enough to play. But there's so many slight missteps, and that's kind of what ends up making it a game that is like teetering on between like good and mid, because it's like they struggle so hard to do the things they try to do. Where it's like, oh, we want to transit the 3D to the 2 back to the 2D, and you know, so we want to have like a really complex system, so we're gonna have the enemies do all these different things and have all these different colors, and it's like 4 colors is too many colors, and they're like, well, you got to be able to parry. Oh, but we don't want you parrying like we don't want you using your magic stuff abilities all the time, so we're gonna put those on a meter. Okay, and then you can get it back from like, but then the meter's like depleting too quickly, so it's like, I think the ways this game fails are small but significant. And observing that and taking that in is almost more enjoyable than the act of playing it, in a way. And not because I'm like rooting against them or anything. I just think it's kind of interesting. To see what they're doing with it. Like, we just unlocked the little spoilers for the unlocks or whatever, but it's all normal stuff. So with the shoes that let you run, but you have to like run before you hit the run button. And I'm like, why?
You have to like build into the run.
And I'm like, why? That's such a bad idea, but I'm fucking compelled.
Yeah, I think this is like, I mean, there's been times throughout this week, today even, where like we're
rushing to finish my work day.
I can't wait to finish recording this podcast so that we can play more of this game. And I don't know if that's the game. I don't know if that's we're playing together. Like it's a game that we're playing side by side. I don't know if it's the just weird drip feeding incremental progress that you get when you like discover a new area, or you clear a boss, or you find an objective, or you find a camp, you save, and this, that, and the third. Like, I don't know what it is. I cannot put my finger on it, but there is something that has grabbed me about this game.
Do you think it is just the God of War of it a little bit?
I don't think so.
It's not like part of it though. If this was not a God of War game, I don't think we would both be finishing it.
So I played a little bit of the Ender Magnolia, which I would say like not quality. What's the word for when it's like the quality about like the fluidity or the like jankiness of a thing?
The movement, the fluidity,
the
crunchiness.
I'll just say production, for lack of a better word, because I can't think of the word I'm looking for. But like Ender Magnolia is a game that has the same production level as this game, where it like everything moves kind of that janky, like animated style. The move sets you have are more than like nothing, but not exactly what you want ideally in a game. It like everything is like just enough to keep you going. But I bounced off of Ender Magnolia. I didn't bounce off of this yet, and I don't know why. Like,
I know, I'm surprised by that too, because Ender Magnolia has a lot of like, I know you said this wasn't the word you were looking for, but I've heard from you and from other people that Ender Magnolia has a lot of like quality of life stuff for like making the Metroidvania like easier and smoother.
It is very nice, yes.
And that was a big appeal point for people. I think too, something that appeals to me about this is seeing the different like biomes they come up with, which have largely been a little boring. It's been a lot of, which many Metroidvanias are victim of this, even the really good ones. Like Silksong technically has some kind of just, it's the lava thing. Again, I think Silksong, where it excels is its ability to bleed biomes into each other. I think is really unique and cool. But you know, the usual suspects are there: a grassy area, a poison area. But right now we just hit like the blood and wine area, and I like that area. They got skeletons where you kill them, they explode. Again, that's nothing that like, this game isn't necessarily doing anything that is, even the things it does that are good are not new. But bringing them in, it kind of feels like you're walking up to a buffet table and it's like some of your favorite food, but like the quality of the food isn't that good, but you're still kind of like excited about it. Like me, when I see like the, you know, we're going to talk about the Porsche thing on the Not Games, but they had some cheese out and the cheese was just regular ass cheese. It's just like cheddar cheese, pepper jack cheese, but I like cheese. So even though, is this like a cheese that you can get at Ralph's for like no thought? Yeah. Is it that good? No, but it's cheese and I like it. So it's like I like seeing the skeletons explode. And then I have like to get out of their way. Yeah. And it's like all you do in this game is roll and then like hit things. Like you roll, you turn around, you hit. You roll, you turn around, you hit. If you can get good enough, you can start pairing and stuff. I'm trying to work on that. I do think this is a game where, which is an unfortunate place for it to be at. I also think that's why it gets a lot of flack. In order to have more fun with the combat, you have to be good at it.
To a degree, yeah.
Like, the better you are, the more interesting it is. And if you're not willing to get better, it's not going to be interesting. But I also don't think it does anything to warrant you stepping up your game. Like, it's not really like, it has not earned the right to be as hard as it is in a way. Yeah.
But I also find that like it's not that hard because like they'll, at least I find like with bosses and stuff, it's like there's usually a very easy pattern. Yeah. That they follow in where like there's only really like 3 moves they do. And so you just like need to learn what 3 moves that is and then do the thing that kind of like counteracts it. But there's something about being in a room with like 80, you know, 80 is a huge exaggeration, but like, you know, 6 small enemies and like 1 big enemy all coming at you that you like can't keep track of what 3 moves are each person is doing at any given time. Like there's enough there that is both enticing, but again, kind of like you said, like it doesn't have the fluidity in combat to like really warrant that.
I think, and this is another part where it's like, if you're broken in this specific way, you're going to like this game. It also has the kind of, like, to add on to what you're talking about, the kind of difficulty it has is like boring and not very good, but that's nostalgic to me. Yeah. Because games that were older for like our age, like being in our 30s, a lot of times when they were difficult, it was in a way that wasn't that interesting. It just happened to be hard. Yeah. And this captures that. And I'm like, yeah, I remember like doing these things. And then I also think it just has like other
spongy enemies,
other like genre niceties of hitting guys like above you, like through the platform. It's like, that just feels nice to do. I just like doing that.
Yeah. Where you jump and you could poke someone through the like ledge from underneath. Like that just feels good sometimes, you know?
Yeah, and I'm liking doing that.
So I don't know. I want to play more. I'm excited to play more. I don't think this game is that good. I like this game way more than warrants the quality of it. You know what I mean?
I would say same as well. Like, yeah. And it's funny because here's a question, which I think you're going to say this game. This game or Lego Horizon?
Oh.
Like, which game is better to you?
I would probably have to go this game, but I think I would rather.
Is it
play
better
this
though,
game.
or is there more mechanics? I feel like there's more mechanics.
Hold on. If we're looking at like if we're pitting apples to apples, just what's the better game? I would probably have to give it to Lego Horizon. But if you gave me an option of which game do I want to play, I'm picking this.
Yeah, see, that's why I'm like, well, maybe, and this is something I'll have to assess when I'm going to eventually log this on Backloggd and I'm done with it. It's like, if I think this is the same game as Lego Horizon is a 6 out of 10. And again, for me, I love that game though. I love Lego Horizon.
I think it's probably, I mean, to me, they're very close. Like, I cannot tell you which one is like clearly better than the other.
I do think though, variety is the spice of life, and God of War having more variety does help it. Even though I don't want to necessarily like overrank, just like there's different things going on, thus it's better, but it does help.
Yeah. They're different games, right?
Yes,
you know,
they're very different.
If there is this like weird hidden, I don't know this for sure, so you know, spoilers or anything like that, but like apparently like you beat the game or something and then it opens up co-op or something like that.
Yeah, but the co-op I heard is just like a different mode. It's not like the game and go up again. Yeah.
Okay. Oh well.
If we could play this game co-op,
I was gonna say, like if there's a way to play this,
it would be the same level of game to me. But in my heart, it would be
better.
like through the roof. It would be awesome. Because we're basically already doing that now, where it's like, okay, like we're here, like we're almost at the same spots. In the game, I do wish it was shorter, especially because it's not that good. I'm like, it wouldn't hurt to get in and out of here in 12 hours.
Yeah,
and I know we're going to be in and out in like the high teens, if nothing else. I think there are finally somehow long to beats on this game. Though, funnily enough, with God of War Sons of Sparta, people were saying like 20. I'm seeing like a 25 in here. Like, I don't know what's going on. Oh, how are you liking, before I like go on about like kind of wrap up thoughts? What are your thoughts on like the story? Like it, dislike it? How you feel about Demosis? Demosis? I don't know his name.
Demosis. I'm kind of indifferent to it. I do like that you have this sort of character who can kind of like your brother who can like kind of help push the story along. I think that's interesting. Kratos, for the first 3 games, right? Kratos has always been such like a loner, and it wasn't until like 2018 that we got Atreus, and like, oh, like he's got a partner now. Like he's having conversations with people. He's having like a character. There's a personality to Kratos. I think it is cool getting to see young Kratos in like his formative years, kind of like before he became this just jaded god of war. I think that's really interesting. And I do think that it's even like you kind of said like earlier, like set pieces in the environment and things like that. Like very early on when you're in Sparta, you can see that they're building the huge statue of Ares in like the background. And I pointed that out. Like I clocked that. I was like, oh, that's cool. That's the big statue of Ares that you like, you know, he kind of personifies and stuff like that. And Lena's like, oh, okay, cool. So as a like tangential lore fan of God of War, like again, kind of like you, I played the games, you know, I can tell you what happens, but I can't like give you names of all the Greek gods that he killed and everything like that.
Yeah.
I think it is cool seeing just this earlier version of Kratos, kind of before, like I said, before he's jaded, before he becomes a god of war, before he turns on Greek gods and everything like that. I think that's cool. And I like that. And the particular story, the MacGuffin that you're kind of going after here, I don't really care for, but I like the characters that you're kind of meeting along the way, you know?
Yeah, I like the relationship with him and his brother is like funny. It's very like charmingly childish, like just the way they like kind of talk to each other. I will say I don't know how much I like the way Kratos is like represented. It doesn't fully feel like it's him before he's jaded. It just feels like it's a separate guy in a way. Feels a little detached from like Kratos, like the character that like I've grown to know or whatever. But I like the dynamic between him and his brother and like the dumb little arguments they'll get into. I'm like, oh, like, would you like that girl? And she's like, you don't even talk to girls. And he's like, shut up. Like, it's just like, I don't know. It's like stupid shit like that is kind of funny. And I enjoy it. And it's also like spread out enough that it's like something I'm still like excited to like see the little cutscenes that happen. I do think that this game also, as a Metroidvania, suffers from like its level of linearity, because you would think that like, oh, well, that makes the game easier. And in a way it does. Like, you know, you're not really going to get lost in this game because you can kind of see, oh, I guess it's just this one spot. But it also makes it so that because you'll never get lost in this game, you'll never really get lost in the game. You know what I mean? Like, it is a very, like, I'm looking at my map to make sure, oh, I got to get the 3 things, you know, in this little area. And, like, you can turn off there's, like, a guided part where they put the big markers. And you can turn that off. I don't turn that off. And I know, like, some people say, oh, if you want it to be more, like, you could just... No, because it wouldn't really change anything, because the structure of the game is still the structure of the game. Now I'm just not given information. I also think... I don't know where we came up with this narrative that a big icon of where you need to go is the end all be all of navigation in Metroidvanias. And that like, if you have a big icon, you're like less hardcore of a Metroidvania, because like so many iconic Metroidvanias have a big ass icon of where you need to go. Like both new and old. I don't think that's as guided as people think it is. It's like, that doesn't really tell me much of anything.
Yeah.
So yeah, but other things that I want to mention with this game, let's see, other things I want to touch on. Is there anything you want to touch on?
I wish they had a demo for it. I think that would be really good for people.
This thing I want a demo because I don't think we were going to stick with it. Oh, that's the thing I was going to mention. My hot take on this game, is even though I agree and understand where people are coming from when they're like, it's mid, I'm like, okay, I can see that. I might even agree with you. I have to wait. I'm gonna, I'm enjoying more stuff than I think other people are in this game. And same for you or whatever. I think this game is getting a little overly scrutinized. Like, people were like acting like this is the first mid game to exist. Like, in a way, like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just like too chronically online or whatever. But I feel like I play mid games all the time, and people were like, it's pretty good. And I'm like, what's good about it? And then this game, they're like, obviously it's not good. And I'm like, either keep that same energy or back off my boy Demiosis or whatever. It's like, I don't know. Yeah. But I feel like it's to me, I feel like there's this weird mix of the more people are playing it than ever would if it was just like Megacast's studio made it a Metroidvania. Like, this is obviously getting way more play because it's God of War. Mm-hmm. But I also think it drew a lot of people, maybe people who wouldn't normally play like a game that's this like kind of like mid to good, and they're like, oh, this sucks. And I'm like, well, like, what you have to understand about the landscape is that a lot of it sucks. Like, a lot of it's not that good. So I don't know. I feel like it's both helping and hurting them, because I think it got a lot of eyes on the game, but I think because it didn't deliver with something like more clearly good, it's like, well, who's really going to be standing this? Kind of nobody. Yeah, like the fact that we're some of the hottest on it, that's damning, because we don't pull any punches on this show, and we're like, it's actually not that bad. But yeah, it's it is very much like the weaker fast food chain kind of vibe, where it's like, it's not better. It's not, I'm not saying it's McDonald's, but sometimes you just want to eat. And I'm eating and I'm having a good time. Pass it here. More God of War Sons of Sparta for me. But yeah, it's been interesting. And it's dumb to say because it really isn't that good, but it's like, I'm excited to get like I think we're missing one thing. Presumably, I'm imagining they're all mapped to the D-pad. So I'm like,
presumably, yeah.
Because I don't think we have anything for. Well, no, we do have something for up.
Yeah.
Maybe are we done getting stuff?
No.
That feels really early. Have, like, oh, okay.
There's a couple more things.
They got too much stuff in the menu. Yeah. Like, this game is so fascinating to me because I feel like I could, and I probably should for my website, write a dissertation on like all the small ways this game fails, because I think that's what's like interesting to me. I don't think this game is like, sure, you could just say that the combat's kind of boring, and then like that's why the game isn't that good, and like that's a little true. But to me, it's like all the little details on how they like kind of mess this up a little bit. But they're like not that far from it being just like a stronger good. I don't think they were like necessarily playing with greatness in this game, but like a clearer good game was in here, and it gets a little fumbled by just these micro decisions that get made. So yeah.
I do wonder if we'll hit a turning point. Like right now we're very into playing. We're having fun playing.
I feel like every night I hit 8 turning points and then I get turned back around because like because like it's frustrating. It's like a kind of frustrating it because we even we're in that blood and wine section. It has this task where it's like you have to destroy these fountains, and the fountains have like 3 orbs that appear, and 2 of the orbs are like really like vibrant, and one isn't vibrant at all and is super spongy, and it like doesn't really animate when you hit it. And I was like, am I even doing damage? And you have to hit it. I'm not sure how many times it is. It feels like 32 times. Yeah. To get this thing to pop. Yeah. And when I was doing that, I was like, this is fucking dumb. Yeah. This is insane. This is madness. And then I say, and I skip on to the next room because something's wrong with us.
I think there's...
And I don't think we're going to get fixed while playing this game. I think we're just going to be surprised by our own madness,
Yeah. I think that, like, this game has, not to harp on like the bad points, but it does have, I think, the absolute most dog shit wall
jump's terrible
I've ever had in a game. Like I've ever experienced. No,
it's awful.
It is the worst ever.
It's genuinely just really bad. It is like the only thing in this game that I would say is like no debate bad.
Yes,
like
bad. That is a you should have just took this out. Like, you needed to redo this.
God of War Sons of Sparta is a game of almost, and for me, it's the game that's close enough. Like it's close enough to kind of being like a firm good, that I'm here, I'm hanging out, and I get just enough happiness out of it. And it's just like, it's just like repetitive little comfort food to me.
Yes. Yes. I think that is a great way to put it. This is like a comfort food for us that we know is not great. This is not, this is like a fast food drive-through run. You know what I mean?
I think too, what helps with this game is and I could be wrong, but I feel like, cause you're like, well, we turn on it. I feel like all the bad stuff has already been shown to us. And now we can only...
I do think that. Yeah, that is a good point.
And the reason this game doesn't end up elevating is because when it gives us something new and good, it still has the bad stuff in it. So it's not like it's not separated. So like, for instance, I think there's a huge like missed opportunity in this game with its environmental puzzle solving, which has always been like really chill. I mean, God of War puzzles are like very chill, which I don't even remember if the OG trilogy was very puzzly at all. I don't think it was.
It would be like, oh, you gotta put
like light 2 lanterns or something.
Yeah.
And like God of War 2018 and Ragnarok has a little bit like more in that way.
Yeah, we're like, oh, I gotta throw the axe.
And they're fun. And they're like really fun to do. I really like doing those. Here they really struggle to translate that into the 2D space because all they could seemingly think about with how far we are in it, maybe it changes, is to have to do something in a certain amount of time. Is kind of like all of them are different versions of time challenges, which could be fine if you had like more maneuverability. But like Kratos moves like very like sloggily in this game. The roll is like technically faster movement than the walk, but it doesn't look faster at all. But it like mathematically kind of is. And you're thinking of that. Sorry, we have to carry this stuff. So it's just, and so because of that, it's like, oh, this could be cool. I don't like how you did it though.
Yeah.
So it's like, so I'll get something good. It's kind of like, you know what it's like? And this is like, I know we're like throwing out so many comparisons and metaphors for this game. And I know this is going to like sound like super nasty, but it's kind of like, it's like the 3-second rule of a game where it's like, I know it hit the floor, but like it wasn't there long enough and it's still a hot Cheeto and I kind of want to eat it and I'm having a good time. And everyone's like, why would you eat these floor Cheetos? And I'm like, well, they're not floor Cheetos.
Yeah.
They're good Cheetos that fell on the ground a little bit. And not all of them fell, but enough that there's I understand if you don't
have to
wanna...
acknowledge the one that got stepped on or like actively fell in like the juice that got spilled over.
Yeah.
But the rest of the bag is like, I'm gonna eat the bag.
You can still save it. Yeah, I'm still eating it. Yeah, but that's the thing. So it's like, it's cool seeing like those like things pop up or like even just like, oh, what is my new ability? And I'm not gonna lie, like again, the Metroidvania sick on me. Now that we have more of the abilities, I'm like, I can't wait to like go back
to places
and do the cleanup stuff. But again, like where this game fumbles too is like the part of why I think it's bad for it to be so linear is you end up not having like naturalistic cleanup moments.
Yeah.
Like the fact that I haven't naturally been brought back to like use new stuff really like or Sparta at all. There's no fast travel Sparta. Like there's just a lot of like it sucks. This game is so close to being like a strong 7 when right now it's like it's a 7 if you like squint, you know, and I am kind of squinting and I'm not sure again where I'm gonna end up, but like it's so close. But like if I was consulting on this game, I would have had so many little like mostly just like little notes like because it's just like so many like little things, and this really is like a Death of a Thousand Cuts game combined with the fact that like my colleague Jacob Geller over at MinMax kind of nailed it when he said something along the lines of like this game not having like kind of like an identity or like a mark on like what do you do that's like remarkable or that's good, like what's your thing, you know. Every Metroidvania and every game should have like kind of a thing. This is what we're doing and it's like cool and it's special and it's different. And like there's not really an answer for it for like God of War. Like the thing that makes it special is that like it's God of War, which isn't nothing. Like I do think the vibes of the game are part of my enjoyment. Like doing the takedowns, that's cool as hell. Like when I hit a triangle, which happens very infrequently because I never stun an enemy long enough to do it, which I get is my problem, but also the game is functioning in a way where why am I never stunning anybody? Those are really cool. When you open the fucking chest and the orbs fly out, that's cool. Like, you know, learning stuff about like the god, like seeing like the old relationship towards the gods, or even just like there's like a lot of like cool, cute stuff in that. But yeah, like what's the one thing this game does really well? I would say nothing, but the sum of its parts is close enough. So I'm like, hey,
Yeah, it's got us here still.
Pass the controller. Yeah. So, but I'm really glad that we're. I also here's the thing. I think you're really sick. Like in terms of finishing games, like you love to like complete a game. I think if I quit, you would still keep playing.
Yeah.
I don't know for sure that I would still play if you weren't playing, but I would want to, and I would be really sad if you weren't playing because I do like playing.
I've been having to stop myself from playing without you.
Yeah,
a lot.
Why do you have so much time to play? We both work anyway. Yeah, I definitely want to play more. I'm excited to play more. I wish the game was shorter, and I know I'm toxic for picking this game as like a game I finished when I have so many, frankly, better games that I haven't finished. But I'm here anyway. I'm having a good time. I'm having a good time. Sometimes it's good to do something that's bad for you. Sometimes it feels good to do something that's bad for you. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know if you should be staying up late. You got work tomorrow. Fuck it. Like that's that. And I want to do that with this game. Literally. I was like, can we just like stay up playing it all night? It just feels like so like, I guess like maybe the thing about me is that a lot of times when people are nostalgic for games, they're like, oh my God, this game was like the greatest game ever when I played it and I was 7. I had so much fun. It was so great. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, this is a game I played when I was 7. It had some problems. Like, I think I've always, not to be like too cocky, but I feel like I've always been able to like conceptualize or understand like what's maybe not great about a game.
Sure.
And it's never like stopped me from enjoying like games or gaming or even the game I'm playing. So for me, it's like part of what's nostalgic about this is that it kind of like part of it sort of sucks. And like that's comforting to me. Like the flaws, I find the flaws very like familiar and being like, oh man, you messed this up. You little come here, you big lug.
I was talking about the game a little bit in the work Slack, and it's like the game has jank. But in that jankiness is kind of its charm.
Yeah.
Like there's a little bit of that. Oh, you could have did this better, but you didn't. And I've now gotten used to it. And okay, I can work with it. I can work with your bad wall jump. I can work with your bad ledge climbing. You're like, it's janky, but I don't know. It's my janky as I'm playing it.
It's not the same as this. And admittedly, it's been like a million years since I read this article. So like, I'm not saying this is a 1-to-1, but there was this article on Polygon at one point called, or maybe there's just a video, The Cousin Game. And people have talked about The Cousin Game. Have you heard of this?
No.
The Cousin Game is like a what at least this person coins as forgotten, forgettable, off-brand, off-access games of your youth. I call them cousin games. The best way to get in the cousin games mindset is to imagine being dropped off in a house that smells different from how you think a house is supposed to smell. And you go into a room with a guy who's like a weird version of you and he's playing Nintendo, which you understand, but you look at the screen and it's like, what is that? What the hell is that? It's Iggy's Wrecking Balls. Now, God of War Sons of Sparta is not nearly as like freak show as like the cousin game list, which like this person includes stuff like Bug with an exclamation point, Spy Hunter, like Uniracers, like stuff that is like, who the fuck has this game? It's not quite weirdo territory, but it feels a little reminiscent of that, of like, I don't know, of like it feels like it's like a mid-old game that you miss that you're like, there's some good stuff in here though. Like, it's like, I guess when I play God of War Sons of Sparta, the difference for me is I don't feel like I'm playing a game that's supposed to be good, that's mid. I feel like I'm playing a mid game that has some good stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what's different for me. That's why I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. That's a really good way to put it. Man, you might have nailed it. It's a mid game that has some really good stuff.
Boom. Podcasted. And now for the not game section of the show, we have the Porsche event. It's Porsche, right? Not Porsche.
I say Porsche, but I think it is Porsche.
It's Porsche, right? Yeah. Which we now know because we were at this event. We got to go to the Porsche Experience Center in Los Angeles because it was part of an event to celebrate the launch of Resident Evil Requiem, because there's a Porsche in the game.
I guess.
So they're like, check out Leon Kennedy's car, sort of. Ooh, I have a Porsche. Okay. Anyway, and this was like kind of cool because I definitely like had it on my list of things to like want to check out in LA, but it was like fairly low on the list because I'm not like a car guy. And also because stuff's not cheap. I thought it would be like a cool thing to, do eventually because it's a fun kind of concept. So basically they have like different stuff you can do at the Porsche Experience Center. We didn't experience all of it because obviously we were just like there for the event. So it was like whatever the event had was kind of just what we experienced. But there's like other stuff you can do. Like you can do like a drift ride along on the track, which sounds really cool. There's like a restaurant in there. There's just like a bunch of like different stuff. There's like virtual like simulators and things. So we went to the event. Again, Resident Evil event technically, but they had a thing where the first like 300-ish people who lined up to do it could have a ride along experience in the Porsche. Is it called? It's like
the Taycan. Taycan.
Yeah.
2026 all electric, fancy, super fast sports car. Luxury sports car.
So it was already dark out and it's been raining a lot. So it's dark. There's some puddles. So not the best driving conditions. But of course they're like professional drivers. So the dude had us in the car. He was like, buckle up, put your head back because this shit about to zoom.
Take off.
This shit about to zoom. He didn't say shit about the zoom because he's, professional, but that's basically what he said. And zoom we did. Isaiah, what was the experience like?
It was pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. I was in the back seat, so I'm sure your experience was even better, kind of thing. But it was very cool. Like, look, we owner aside, we have a Tesla, and it's a car, great car. It is also an electric car, which means that when you floor it, you get like full torque out the gate at the on the line kind of thing. And I've look, if you're a cop listening, just close your ears. Like, I've tried it before just to see what is it like when you like floor an electric vehicle.
Well, it also has like sport mode too. Like
that I'm not giving them any more money. What is it like when you floor this electric car that has a motor that lets you just like full throttle it, from the jump kind of thing. And it feels really cool. It feels like you're driving a go-kart, Being in the Porsche that did that felt the jump from like regular car to the Tesla. I felt like I jumped from the Tesla to the Porsche. Like, it is very much a very similar feeling, but it's crazy how just snap and go it is. And mind you, this was like the weather outside. It had, kind of rainy a little bit recently, and it was dark and everything like that. This driver still like went from like 0 to 100 in like 3.5 seconds kind of thing. Like 4 seconds, it felt like. Which is just a weird feeling. You don't feel that very often outside of like roller coasters, maybe,
Yeah.
It was cool. and I couldn't even see anything. All I could do was feel. I wonder, what was it like for you? Like, again, being in the front, it's dark out, you got just a headlight. Like, did it feel like you were on like a Need for Speed kind of?
Yeah, it did kind of feel like being in a video game. I understand that it's probably like a safety reason. They don't let you record when you're in there. I'm guessing just because your flash goes off and then everyone crashes and burns or whatever. But or maybe they just don't want people to like get to kind of see the feeling, even because they do like charge for this normally. It's something we got to do for free as part of the event. Yeah, it was awesome. It felt super cool, super fast. Again, it couldn't really like fully zoom except for those little pockets. The rest was just like tight turns. But yeah, like it was. The put your head back on the seat rest was warranted because it really did take off. And it's funny because right before we got in the car, we were like waiting in line to do the experience. And I told Isaiah, one of my many dumb jokes I make, I said, oh, this is just like the Cars ride because we went on the Cars ride at Disney. And honestly, like it kind of is like that. Like it's but a little bit better. Like the car ride could like really zoop around. It was like that kind of fun. Like I really did feel like being on a ride, which was cool. And the guy was like super nice, super knowledgeable, unsurprisingly. He said he's been working there for 10 years, which is like kind of wild. And I didn't even get to ask like and what were we doing before that? Because I'm sure he didn't just come off the street,
Yeah.
working at this company. So, yeah, really, really fun thing to get to do. Very novel. And again, I'm silly, so I'm like, oh, this is dozens of dollars of experience. I'm trying to look at. I don't know if they have like exactly kind of what we did, because they offer for demonstration laps, which is like what we did. They have a drift one, but they also have a handling one. And I think the one that we went on might just be considered the handling one. But yeah, it's tough to say and whether or not it would be different. But like, for instance, like they sell something called the drift demonstration lap, low friction handling circuit. And for that, it's $115 for 5 minutes. I mean, we were kind of already in. I think that might be literally what we did, like, now, I'm not gonna lie, I would definitely go back and do the drift one, because after all, watching all those Fast and Furious movies, we have to, incredible. Obviously. Oh, wait, this one might be the drift one, actually. I don't know if the other one is cheaper. They don't really, it's hard for me to like go through in the booking to see, or maybe they just include it. I don't know. But the drift one's $115, so I imagine that like, either way, this is definitely like, not that it needs to be expensive for it to have had been fun, but it is kind of cool that like, wow, we just got to do this thing that you normally like might have to pay for, or at least a version of.
Yeah.
So that's nice. And the car is like what, $1 kajillion. So like, I'm not gonna have this car. It also had a built-in massage
yeah,
chair.
The fact that it had
in the
heated
passenger
massage
seat.
Chair in the passenger
And the dude was like,
because
I was in the front, he's like, oh, grab the dial on the side, and it's like you could change the style of massage it was, and it still did just feel like a regular massage. It wasn't like, it didn't feel like a person was massaging me or anything. It was a massage chair essentially, but it was. That's like pretty cool, like just for dumb luxury stuff where it's like this is excessive and silly. We also got to do the simulator. We got to go in their simulator lab where they have like different circuits you can drive on. Now they do offer like a VR version of that because they have the headsets on the side. I don't know like how different that would be. So again, this is more so speaking to our experience of going to this event that happened to be at the Porsche Experience Center, more so than the experiences you can sign up for at the center, which again, hopefully we one day do that as well, because I think there's still some fun stuff we haven't done. But that was cool. That was fun. You're like in the seat. It's like super low. It's like you have the racing wheel. It's in like a cute little like tiny arcade cabinety seat. But I will say the fidelity of at least what we did was like not very high. I was expecting this to be,
no, it felt very like
kind of Gran Turismo, and this was more like Gran Turismo from many years ago.
Yeah,
kind of
like PS2 Gran Turismo. You know what I mean?
Maybe not that bad, but honestly, I was so focused on like trying to race well, but I got caught up because I was in second. It was like 5 people. I was in second, and I was riding that racing line. I was easing up on the gas when I hit the turns. I was like really like in it, and then I finally pulled ahead to first. And I was so worried about losing first that I got too close to like the grass. And once my wheels like caught on there, I was just fucking spinning out. And that part definitely did feel like more. It's funny because like my weird hot take is like spinning out kind of like made it feel more real in a way, because I could not like, because in a video game, like when you're like because I mostly play like arcade racers, like Forza Horizon, not like the simmy stuff, because I don't want to deal with all that stuff. So like the fact that like I was so fucked at that point, I was like, oh, this really was a little bit of a simulation, because you cannot just like, and now I'm back on the course, I'm turning right. Like my wheels were like all types of fucked up. Ended up coming in last. Really horrible ending for my race. But yeah, what was your take on the simulator?
I thought it was cool. It definitely was in like some, baby mode where you weren't shifting gears. You weren't like the handler was like, just floor it the whole time. And it's like, well, I know you can't really do that. Even in like a simulator, you still need to like shift gears and time your brakes and this, that, and the third. It was just set to simple mode for sure. Which is a bit of a bummer, because like the steering wheel feedback, like it was like a motorized steering wheel kind of thing. And like it would jerk your hands like when you were doing a turn or something like that. Like, you had to actually kind of put some like force into turning and everything. And so I feel like that could have been really, really cool to experience. So yeah, maybe if and when we go back, seeing a more fully fleshed out version of that simulator lab could be worth it, just to see what it is really like.
I imagine it has to be different because like online it says, well, first of all, the bookings, the lowest booking you can do is 30 minutes. And like we rode for like 3 or something, like just kind of like we just did a race, maybe. Which was like fine. But you know, it implies that there's maybe like something more going on. Like if you're doing a 30-minute simulator and so for the 30-minute simulator, it's $55. For if you want 30-minute VR simulator, which is I think is the same thing, but with a headset, that's $65. And then they also offer the same too, but for like 60 minutes. So obviously that the price increases with like those ones. But yeah, it was all right. It was like cool. It was cool enough. Like I always get a kick out of going into like complex setups like that. So even though it wasn't like, it didn't wow me as much as like the ride along thing did, but it was still like a cool thing to do. Other stuff that was fun there, just seeing like the cars inside the facility and like the ones they had, like they kind of had like a big set of like glass pane windows that like look into like kind of like the garage or whatever, and just like getting a peek at those cars was kind of nice. And the area was just like that kind of part of the first floor. I don't know if there's I think there actually are multiple floors. There kind of would have to be if there's like full restaurants in there, but we were just like in that little area. And yeah, so they also showed off like they had like little model cars and then like suitcases and like little like Porsche branded things that they sell, where it's like, what was the thing that you said was like $200? It was like
the gas cap.
The gas cap, yeah. And I'm like, I'm gonna put I'm gonna buy a $200 Porsche gas cap to put on my Toyota Corolla, just to feel a little like a bit of luxury, you know.
Yeah.
While I have my Air One smoothie and my Toyota Corolla, yeah. But that was cool, and they had like snacks there for the event and like drinks. The Resident Evil margarita, or the Raccoon City margarita, which I stand by. I would not be fucking drinking margaritas in Raccoon City, but I drank one that night, and it was. It was good and it was nice and it was like dreary looking, and they put the umbrella corp umbrella in there. Was cool. That was very cute. But I'm like, margaritas in Raccoon City? Like, I don't know about that. It feels like more of a
hey man,
like
everything's going to hell in a handbasket around you.
It feels like a brown liquor town, not like a margarita town.
It does feel like a brown liquor town.
You know what I mean? But I understand that they're like, motherfuckers don't want to be drinking brown. They want margaritas, you know? So it's like,
yeah.
But I'm like, a margarita? Anyway. Anything else from the event that you want to talk about or touch on?
It was cool. We unfortunately didn't win the raffle.
Yeah.
But we know someone who won. We were friends with one of the people who won, and like got to see everyone else kind of go up there and have their fun. And
yeah,
stuff
a good amount of familiar faces too at the event, which was fun.
Yeah.
Other creators and stuff.
That was also really cool. They had, I guess, some of the voice actors for the characters there that were like doing some signing and everything like that. We didn't get that, but no. I think that was more of a us than a them.
Definitely an us thing. Because also they're like, oh, you should go over there. The voice actors are signing. And I'm like, cool. And I'm like, who am I looking for?
I know your voice. I don't know what you look like.
I'm like,
you know what I mean?
This isn't worth like the social interaction of having to figure that out for me. Yeah, they had like little photo ops.
All right, you go up there, and I was like, man, I don't want to lead this.
No, but you're like good at that though.
I didn't know the person.
Yeah, but you're good at finding out stuff. Come on. Anyway. How Isaiah doesn't go crazy for me being, come on.
Yeah, the giveaway PC would have been great.
Yeah, the top giveaway was a PC, a Resident Evil like themed PC, and that would have been lit as hell. And that's like we got there around, it was a 5 to 9 event. We got there around like 6. And we like felt done with the event by like an 8.
7:30.
Yeah, like a late 7, early 8. But it's like, oh, like, I guess we'll stay for the raffle. And also the traffic dies down as it gets later anyway. So we're like, you know what? We'll stay till the end. So the raffle worked on us. I hate to admit it.
Yeah.
PR, I know you're listening, being like, the raffle was great. But it's like, yeah, like
more raffles.
It did kind of like, yeah. Normally I don't care too much because I never win anything anyway. But I was like, I guess imagine if we could take the PC, especially with it being a PC. That's a pretty useful item.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know, versus like
hats,
some like like swag or something, which is like fun to have, but you know, you end up with a lot of that stuff if you.
Yeah. I would use the PC for sure. You know what I mean? Even I just put one together, I still would find a use for it.
Yeah.
It was cool. Definitely want to go back, try some more stuff they have there, bigger. versions of things. Honestly, I think they probably would even give you like tours of like the it's not full factory, but like the little like mechanic shop stuff they have there. I got the sense that you could like do tours there and actually like, walk the line and see like what repairs and everything they do.
That would be cool.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, it's tough for me to see like what other stuff they have. Obviously, they also, which we're not going to do this because this is way too much money. But they do sell like the opportunity to like drive the cars, thousands of dollars just to drive the car. Like I'm not doing that.
No. No.
But that's cool though. Like for some people, they have that in their budget. So like
the YNAV is not looking good enough to do that.
Okay, here's a question. Because they have a retail. We didn't see this because again, we only had access to like so much of the space. They have a retail store. Merch, swag, whatever. Would you wear a Porsche like branded like thing, or are you like, no, I don't have. Okay.
Yeah.
Even though you like don't have the car and will never have the car.
Yeah. I mean, it's still it's a cool car. You give me a Maserati hat, give me a Ferrari hat, I'll still wear it.
Okay.
I'll probably never own one.
Is there like an item that would be like Porsche branded where you're like, that's too far for me, like, or is there like a limit to that?
Yes. I think anything. Basically, if and this is, I can hear the comments already.
Oh my god. I'm scared.
Basically, if I wouldn't wear it Kirkland signature, I wouldn't wear it Porsche.
I feel like you're way more connected to Kirkland signature though than you are
but
Porsche.
I'm saying I'm not gonna wear like I would wear a Kirkland signature hoodie. I would wear a Kirkland signature hat.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna walk around. Maybe I guess if the mug was like a nice enough mug, I'd use a Kirkland signature mug. But like, I'm not gonna be walking around with like a scarf on or anything like that just because it has the brand on it. You know what I mean? Like it needs to be functional for me still.
Okay, right. So just something as long as you would be able to wear it, have a use for it in your life.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's also one of those things where I'd have to look into like, I know there's a whole school of thought on like the Porsche design and their design ethos and their beautiful design. So, and I know I sound dismissive. I'm really not trying to be, but it is one of those things where like whenever you have a brand that's good at one thing, it always is like, and they do like something else. It's like, well, you're good at that other thing. I don't know if you're, again, obviously very canceled, but they're like, what does Lady Gaga know about camera? She's the creative director of Polaroid. Anyway, I like some of the Gaga songs. But what does she know about cameras? Like we saw those suitcases, which are expensive. They're like fairly, very expensive. I think the lowest is like 3, the mid range is like 5. It just goes up from there. But they looked really nice. Are they actually good suitcases? It's like I don't, it's like, or is it just like you're getting dazed by the brand? I will say something that's really cute. Looking in the store is, and this like would be, I don't know if they're charging up the ass for this. They might be because it's Porsche, but they sell like a kid's car that you can like sit on with the big wheel.
Oh, that is cool.
And I would love for like our kid to have that. Yeah. That's kind of lit. But if they charging way too much, we could just go to Walmart and get
the Tonka one. Man.
Exactly. That's way more than I see. This is how you know I'm like a little too ready to be like a parent in the toxic sense though. Like only the toxic thing. That's more than I had as a kid. Just like, okay, I gotta make sure that stays as a joke and not what the energy I bring to parenthood. You should be grateful. Anyway, they have the classic stuff that my dad's into, which is like a bear that's wearing a Porsche sweater or whatever. He like loves that stuff.
I can see that.
For like kind of absolutely no reason, I want to like go ham on that, like the restaurant, because like I feel like the restaurant's either
it's not gonna be good.
No, it might be good though.
No, it's not gonna.
Remember
be good.
when Edwin said the automotive museum had good food, or someone else told us that too?
Yeah.
And then we have that friend tell us about that the Grammy Museum has good food, low key.
Sure. Yeah.
I feel like sometimes there's good food in unexpected places. Like I get what you mean. This is the kind of place where it's like you go, you eat there, and it's like a scam. Like when you're at a museum and you eat, usually the food is like mid but expensive. I don't know. I think
if it's the same people who brought us those like mini sandwiches at the event last night, then I feel like I'm not gonna be wowed by the food. I can tell you that right now.
I mean, but the mini sandwiches, were they not like better than you thought they'd be?
They were better than I thought they would be, but also
and,
in
like,
some regards worse.
The food
kind of
looks good though.
It
looks hoity-toity good,
yes,
but like,
it looks hoity-toity.
But I like to hoid and toid. That's what I do. And look how good this looks.
I like to eat.
Look how good this looks. For the podcast, I'm literally showing a picture of just like an overhead view of a coffee, and the napkin says Porsche. But like it looks good though.
No,
it kind of looks good.
No.
Look, look at these white people and one black person cheersing. you know? Oh, also racially ambiguous woman here.
that
could be us.
Throw a dart at the
That
map
could be us.
in the valley, and you'll hit a cafe that has food that looks exactly like that for what I'm sure is a fraction of the price. I don't even know what that costs, and I can tell you it's a fraction of the price.
I don't know, but I want to have it. I want to go there.
No, we could be disappointed for cheaper at home.
But we're going to be disappointed for more over here, and I'm excited about it. So yeah, that'll be fun to do as well. Let's see. Anything else to mention? I think that's like kind of long and short of it. You know, not too much to dig into. It's located in Carson, if people don't know that.
Yeah.
Which is not like the closest to us, but also Carson's second home because the Galaxy Stadium's there. So it's like, all right.
Yes. It was
start getting practice driving over there.
It's very funny because it's like, oh yeah, this is as if we're just driving to a Galaxy game, except instead of turning right here, we just turn left. And it's like, all right, cool. So good chunk of ways, but not impossible to get to. Definitely a cool place to check out. And if you got money to blow, you could have a good old time there. You could have a grand time.
Yeah. It's cute. It's very much giving like an event, right? Like they are, you know, obviously like a lot of places they're like, oh, have your corporate event here. And like what we went to was an event. It's like if you have like a birthday or like a bachelor or bachelorette party for someone who's into cars, it's going to be like just a fun, or I don't know, you're willing to let your kids see something kind of bougie because like kids are really into cars also. Like anyone can be into cars really. So it's like, yeah, it's a fun like cool novelty thing. You know, I didn't get to go to the famous Father's Day trip that my family went on without me ever where I was. I was somewhere else in the country, so I couldn't go. But when they went to the Harley Davidson Museum, and it's like I think there's something about. Let me know if you were like this, Isaiah. There's something about like. Do I generally give a fuck about Porsche? I would say no. That's just my vibe. I'm not a big car person. But because this is so like hyper specific, all Porsche everything, that excites me. Like the specificity of it gets me excited. Are you like that at all? Where it's like, do I normally care? But now that we're like in it, I'm kind of like drinking the Kool-Aid a bit. Maybe I'm like susceptible to cult ideology. I don't know.
I mean, you're definitely that more than me.
Well, yeah.
I think I can appreciate when you're like in it and you're surrounded by something like that.
Yeah, we're in the culture.
There is a nicety there. But I don't pop for that. You know what I mean? Unless, like again, there's a novelty to it and I can pop for a novelty, but in general, I'm not a big like brand name, you know, I'm not wowed by logos and stuff like that. So it would have to be something like really unique and novel for me to like be really into it. And Porsche, I don't know, it's like this basic luxury brand stuff, you know?
Yeah.
So
I'm looking at the menu. She's expensive.
Yeah.
But they only have brunch and lunch. Thank God they don't serve dinner because I don't know how much that would be.
Honestly, making a dinner reservation for a car place sounds absurd. Although that is like the Michelin star thing. So maybe it's not that crazy.
Yeah, man. Cars and food. Get into the luxury. But yeah, it's like, it's like in that like the entrees for lunch are $30 to $60.
That's not.
So it's like expensive.
It's expensive, but it's not like.
It's not like
crazy.
You're gonna like your eyes are bleeding expensive, but it is expensive. Like, you know, again, if it's not good, it's like, yeah, you could have gotten a good meat. You know what I mean? And that's always a risk when you're going to anything that's bougie, even when it is an actual more traditional restaurant. It's like I have no problem giving $40 or $50 to somebody for an entree if the entree is good. But so often it's like, actually, the place you're in just is good, and what you're eating actually is just fine. So there's only one way to find out, though. I can already see like, well, the burger's $30. Boom. They have duck fat fries. I love duck fat fries.
That would be good, I'm sure. But
they got Yukon mashed potato. Yukon.
Yeah, we'll see.
Why is this Paloma $32? How big is the Paloma? That's $32. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, okay. I'm not gonna drink there. That's fine.
Anyways,
But yeah, well, I'll be studying this menu for when we go back. But for now, we got to enjoy some of the niceties.
Yeah.
For the free, and also look at a cutout of Leon Kennedy. So that sounds like a nice evening to me.
That's true.
And a nice evening it was.
Took some photos next to some nice cars.
Yeah. And that brings us to Poll of the Show. Poll of the Show. Last week we asked about your thoughts on was something I left in the doc earlier. I think it was a PC.
Being a PC gamer.
Thank you.
And sleep.
I was like, gosh, I'm not sure. Isaiah, what did the people have to say?
Ask a couple questions. Do you consider yourself a PC gamer? About 70% of our audience said no, with about 30% saying yeah.
Now, quick question on that I'd love to follow up with. Obviously, we can't really easily, but I wonder, is that because they straight up just don't PC game, or just because they don't? Because like, I feel like if you ask me, yeah. Because I feel like if you ask me now, I would still say that like I'm a console girly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, I would not say that I'm a PC, though I think I'm becoming a PC gamer. And I'm excited about that.
Yes.
About that journey. But so maybe that's kind of also part of it. Though I think a lot of people also just don't own a PC like that, like gaming PC. We're very we're very bourgeoisie with our Porsche gaming PC.
Yeah, right. I think they come in enough shapes and sizes that like you got a gaming laptop. You got any laptop. Like you can,
yeah, but gaming laptop. Look, if you have a gaming laptop, respectfully, gaming laptops suck.
Sure,
even the ones that are like good kind of suck.
Sure, but I mean, we were all there once. Like that.
I was never there.
Really, you never had a gaming laptop?
Nah, I gamed on my Mac. That's what I did.
Well, I did,
which is the opposite. It's actually gaming on your Mac is worse than having a gaming laptop. The way people would spit at me like I was victimized for the way I played. Yes, people were like, "Oh, you gamed on Mac."
Well, Mac user, don't consider yourself a PC gamer. I would have considered myself a PC gamer when I had my gaming laptop.
What kind of gaming laptop did you have?
It was like a Asus something or another. Okay. You know, it was like college years kind of thing, you know, where like, oh, I need something I can take to class, but also I want to game on. I want to be able to do stuff
I was studious fool right here. All work, and then I played on the side on this.
We also asked, what are a couple PC games you'd recommend to the pod? Someone was like, if you want to just disappear forever, Civilization, which I played like one Civ game before, really liked it. Totally can see how this would affect me. I
gotta
diving into it.
I don't think Civ's a game for me. I'm going with the girly pop Civ, aka The Sims. That's what I'm gonna get into next.
Fair enough. That is fair.
Sim Civilization. That's where I'm at. So,
Slay the Spire mod called Downfall, where you play as the bosses going down the spire.
That's interesting.
That sounds interesting.
That's interesting.
All right, gotta look into it. And then Valheim and Skyrim with mods. Separately, I think it's Valheim. And then separately Skyrim with mods.
Maybe there's a Valheim Skyrim.
Maybe there's a Valheim Skyrim. Who knows? On the not game side, we asked about how many hours do you tend to get per night on a weekday night? Most people, about 70% said 7 hours.
Nice.
So solid hours there. A little bit high, a little higher, a little lower. And then we asked about weekend nights. More hours for sure. We got about 30% hitting 7, about 40% hitting 8. And then kind of tells off.
Shout out to the person who got 9 hours. That's nice.
Yeah, no, facts. Yeah.
Some people like really need their sleep and they'll get like 10 hours.
It's like impressive.
You spend most of the day sleep, not most of the day, but like almost most of your
waking day.
Yeah, is asleep, which doesn't make any sense.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
And we asked, do you have a bedtime routine that you like to follow? About 70% said yes.
Nice.
So these 70% are coming in. They're all the same. We have found our audience, and they
good
are
sleepers. And then for write-in stuff / emails, we have someone writing in saying Digital Foundry, I think, was saying spec-wise, a Steam machine will likely be weaker than a PS5. I think if this was a must buy, we would know what the prices are already. Well, I also think that it might be delayed with all like the chip shortages and everything going. Like,
possibly, yeah.
I mean,
they haven't said anything.
You can't even get the Steam Deck right now, I don't think. I believe that's sold out still. And like a lot of like I've been like hearing a little bit about like with the chip shortage and everything of like stuff is like pre-sold out basically. It's like you can't like access really anything. So we'll see. I mean, that might be it's weird because it's like that is a console.
Yeah.
But the console that it is a PC.
Yeah.
So I guess we're going to consider it a console, and like after this Xbox thing, we might be in need of some new consoles. So
hey, unplug it, slide it right in.
It'll be where the Series X and SR, I suppose. And then we had someone else, Alec R, write in and said, have you tried listening to any of those highly produced audiobooks that have legit cast A actors doing voiceover narration? They mentioned they've seen it for like popular series, like advertised, like, like Harry Potter and all that. Yeah, I considered doing high produced audiobooks. I'm going to say no. I feel like I don't know. I don't really I'm not big into the audiobook scene. Like I've listened to audiobooks before, but it's just not a big part of like my reading habits. Sometimes I'll do the dual thing where it's like I have the audiobook and I'm reading along, like on the page. But yeah, I think for that reason, I haven't really thought about going that route. I'm not opposed to it necessarily, but I don't know. It's funny because like this person wrote in with this, like the extra context was like, because we mentioned listening to the Oceans movie on the headphones, and it's like, oh, that's like weird but kind of interesting. Like, have you thought of just doing this? For some reason, this feels weirder to me than I think. Here's the thing too. Can I be really honest? I feel like sometimes when I hear about like or either hear about high produced audiobooks or hear them, because back in the day before we learned more about who J.K. Rowling was, I actually did hear some of the Harry Potter books like as audiobooks. I know this is like maybe a casting of that. And it was like kind of cool because it definitely was like immersive in a way, but it also felt like a little overacted. I'd be like, Harry, and it's like, okay, like relax.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but is that something that you are interested in? You like that one audio series.
I have one that I listen to, the My Vampire System, which I originally found just on like a random TikTok ad kind of thing of like a live action version of it. But I ended up just getting into just the like audiobook of it. But it's like one of those audiobook stories where, they do the voices and it's like, there's a little bit of sound effects here and there. There's like atmospheric music as they're talking and stuff like that. And I got really into that one in particular. Apparently that author has like other series and things. Maybe I'll look into that once I like actually finish My Vampire System.
Were you read to as a kid?
No.
Okay.
Not even.
Me neither. Because I was gonna see if maybe that's like the differentiated thread. Because it's like I was like never read to as a kid, and like I had some story time stuff from like my mom would take me to the library where they would do story time sometimes, and like obviously in kindergarten and stuff, they're reading some stories to you. But I just don't have a big memory. Like I don't have a big attachment to someone reading me a story and like acting it out.
I can confidently say I don't think my parents have ever even taken me to the library. I've been to the library, but
it's a sad day when
they did not take me.
Look, we do a lot of like trauma sprinkling on this show. Not a full dump, but just a taste. It's pretty dark. Unless you're going into the really extreme experiences, it's a dark day when my parents are parenting your parents. Like that's a rough go because we weren't exactly a dream team over here. Okay, again, one of my the rare parental W's. I didn't get a lot of them, but there were definitely some pockets of some attempts to do some things that weren't bad, and for that, I bear minimum of let's tip my hat towards them. But that's so sad. No one took me to the library.
No,
when did you end up going? That's so sad.
I mean, I went to like the school library, like in school, like how just have like your school, like I'll go there and talk to the librarian and find books and stuff like that, or like you do the. The Scholastic Book Fair and stuff like that. Like, I'll find stuff that way. But like,
my heart is breaking for you.
Going into the Buffalo Public School Library.
That's so sad.
I've maybe been there a total of like 5 times. Like I can count on one hand how many times I've been to the public library. This also
informs like, which we've talked about in previous episodes, like our reading backgrounds and stuff, and how like lesser your background was. That makes sense because like
as like saying I'm dumb.
I'm not saying you're dumb. I'm saying you said you were dumb, and I'm reminding the listeners that you said that. But that makes sense because like that's how I like read like so you didn't because you didn't read any of like the hit middle school books like like me and Edwin were reading Animorphs. Like you didn't like what happens to Tobias didn't even affect you. That's crazy.
I'd maybe grab like a Goosebumps once in a while. Kind of thing, but that's it.
But yeah, I mean that's how you develop that stuff. So that makes sense. Oh yeah, and then unrelated to any of that, but it popped in my mind. In terms of like going to museums, going to things. If and when we feel like it, we have a free Not Games thing that we never got to talk about, the freaking Natural History Museum we went to.
Oh yeah,
where we learned about the cats. So we can always maybe we'll dip back for that. And we got those tickets from the library.
From the library, yeah.
Shout out to the library. And then this person also wrote in. This is the last one. They said, "Which aspect of Pokemon do you enjoy most today? The anime, the TCG, the latest games, replaying older games, etc. Also, what is your dream announcement from the Pokemon Company? What would get you juiced for the brand?" This is, written in now before they do the Pokemon Presents presentation, but after they announced that they're doing the what are they called?
The Fire Red Leaf Green.
Fire Red Leaf Green. Yeah.
They're porting it to Switch, not NSO, but like full blown retail games, because I guess the NSO wouldn't be able to integrate with like Pokemon Home and whatnot, and this is supposedly going to have that integration to it and stuff like that. Who knows?
They wanted the $20 for each. Is it
they
per
also
game?
Probably just want. I think so. It has to be. It's Nintendo. Yeah, of course. You think they're gonna sell a bundle? No. What are you talking about? So for me, I grew up really liking the show, right? You know, the first seasons at least, right? Then it really just became like Pokemon became a video game for me, where it's like, I'm playing red, I'm playing yellow, I'm getting silver, and then crystal, and then the ruby, sapphire, and emerald, and all that. Like I was there on the bus, on the playground, in school, in bed, at home, under the sheets, so that I didn't get in trouble, and just playing more Pokemon. That was like my jam growing up, and so I'm definitely gonna say replaying the old games. I had actually been replaying Fire Red on my phone for the last couple weeks, like handful of weeks, maybe 2 to 3 weeks.
I didn't know Nintendo had a phone version.
Oh yeah, it's crazy, you know.
It's a little joke. Don't go looking for it on the phone. You're gonna find it.
Yeah, and so like hearing that the game I've been playing Fire Red on my phone, and I'm like decently into it now. I think I like 6 badges or something like that. It's like, oh man, do I want to just stop now and then just wait and then just do this all again officially on the Switch when they drop these games like later this month? Kind of. I think I might do that. Maybe I'll get Leaf Green and like actually try that instead now.
Yeah, I was gonna ask that.
But I wanted to know if you were interested, because either way, I think we should just, if you were interested, we'll definitely get opposite games.
Sure.
And I'm fine getting whatever. If you're not interested, then I gotta hit up some people like, hey,
I'm lightly interested. I think because you're interested, I'll like pretend to be interested, basically. Like I'm not interested. It's just like, well, is the idea that we're both gonna like play together or whatever. We haven't wanted to stream those games, so maybe we just make it on the streams that we keep not doing or something.
It's up to it. I mean, I just like the game. I just like playing the game. Well, there's a comfort in knowing.
I don't want to stop you from playing the game. You know what I mean?
I need you to play just enough so I can get your exclusive Pokemon. Really, how
much is that?
Nah. If you get to like Misty, you could probably give me most.
I guess I can do that for you. Sure, we're married. Why not? I don't know. I guess I'll get Green then. I grew up on Fire on Red was the one I had.
You can get Red again. I grew up also on Red.
I don't know if I want Red again though, because I've had, you know what I mean. Maybe I'll just get Green.
I think I might have had Leaf Green.
Something that's surprising me looking at this listing. Maybe I'm not reading this right, so take this with a grain of salt. I might be fucking up. Y'all could write in and correct me. It looks like they sell the different languages as different SKUs. Yeah. Why is that? Is that just because fuck you? Like that doesn't make any sense to me. Why not just have it that I can change the language in the game?
That's a great question.
Because I'm bummed because of one of my ideas, and actually something that would be great for you
is to get it like in Spanish.
Is to get it in Spanish and Espanol.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Solo Espanol, and see how that goes for you.
I don't know if I want to.
I don't think the first time around you should do that because I don't want to ruin your time.
Yeah.
And I have plans to teach you some Spanish this year, but that involves me doing the work of like coming up with like, even if it's just a casual curriculum, and I have not had time / wanted to make the time to do that yet. But yeah, so maybe that'll be part of. Well, so I don't want to spoil too many of my ideas for the Spanish class I'm going to make for us to do, where I was gonna stay one day ahead of you or whatever. But I figured because I want to make it like chill and fun, which I can't wait to like when we can bring this to the Gangcast and talk about like it for Not Games, because it's like you are so averse sometimes to like having to learn something as like as dry as a language. Like you don't like language like that. You know what I mean? Like that's why like the Bananagrams beef of the many years, you know, but you started warming up.
This is what I married into.
You started warming up. Yeah, sorry, I studied language and like you go to go boop 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 and you help me and I can't go la 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 and help you. But anyway, but yeah, like I plan to have some fun like multimedia stuff of us like watching things in Spanish and like playing you know, to keep it entertaining for the students. I have an education background. I know how to work with people that some educators may consider difficult.
Yeah.
You're not my first bitter student and you will not be my last. Anyway, so that'll be fun. We'll do some stuff with that. Cool.
So I guess to also ultimately answer the question too,
yeah,
like what would give me
right.
juice? I would give this same exact thing, the same treatment. I'll spend $20, I'll spend $30, I'll spend $40, $50. Honestly, I probably would spend $60. I want crystal and I want emerald. I want the like third ultimate colored version of the other generations as well on the Switch so that I can play it and relive my childhood in peace. I pay taxes now. Give me this as the only joy that I can get from back then when times were simpler. Give me crystal, give me emerald.
I enjoy the games the most out of everything. I will say I don't do the TCG stuff at all. I don't have an interest in it. I don't think I will ever develop an interest in it. However, one thing I am kind of interested in as far as like collecting TCG, I'm going to try to find what this artist is. Pokemon artist who does, gosh, I don't know, clay figures might be enough. I came across this on TikTok where apparently like there's different, you know, like artists that do the Pokemon cards. That just is like a fact. And some of them like bring like very specific styles to the cards. And I found out about this one artist who does, okay, I think their name is Yukamori. Apologies if I'm mispronouncing it. Where they do, I'm not sure if the medium is polymer clay or a different kind of clay, but they make these figures of Pokemon and then they photograph them in the real world. And that is the art that's for the card. And it's like a really just like cool look to it. So that prompted me, I haven't done it yet, but I want to explore what are the other cool artists that exists within the Pokemon card universe. And could I maybe work on getting a full collection of like that artist's cards? I think that could be fun. Right now, the lead in that is the Yokomori cards because those seem really cool. But I'm like, oh, maybe there's something that's even more exciting to me. I'm not sure of that answer yet. But yeah, they look like this kind of thing.
Yeah, it's really good.
So like they're pretty freaking cool. So yeah, I also haven't looked into is there one or multiple of those cards that are like dumb expensive? In which case, like I wouldn't say that means the pursuit is totally worthless, but it does like if all of them were expensive, that would be like less appealing to me because it's just like less realistic that I can do it. But yeah, that seems kind of cool. But yeah, the games are the big thing. Something that would excite me, that would get me juice for the brand, is a new art style to either the mainline Pokemon franchise or within a spin-off game. I, like many people, am feeling the pains.
That with the Pokopia, right?
Pokopia is just like it's just a spin-off game, which is fine and cool. I like that Pokemon does spin-off games. A lot of them aren't very good. People have been fucking foaming at the mouth about how good Pokopia is. I have not played it, but people came out that preview cycle and said, I know you think this shit's trash. It's actually heat. That's like what every preview basically said.
Wow.
Obviously, previews can get things wrong. And again, other people's opinions are not necessarily my opinion, but it does make me optimistic for the game. But yeah, like that, like I want something funky and fresh to like reinvigorate the franchise because I do think the art style they're chasing currently is very dated looking. I think the fidelity of the game is definitely rough. And also like it's just a lot about the Pokemon franchise is unfortunately fighting against its own staleness a bit. Yeah. And I would love for some refreshes into it. I mean, the thing I want the most is just give Game Freak a longer development cycle. Let them cook. I know they can make a really great game. They have made really great Pokemon games, and I feel like it's been a while since they've made one that really feels great. Not an insane long amount of time. I think Legends Arceus is a great Pokemon game.
Legends Arceus is really good.
Now, like Legends EA, I
Not
feel
as
like
good as Arceus.
you're slipping. Like I kind of thought, oh, you
Yeah.
found your thing, and then it feels like not quite. So I'm not as jaded as some, but the more I start to like get into modern Pokemon, the more I'm kind of like feeling the flaws. It's been a little bit of a rough go. So yeah, but yeah, and I think also I'd get excited for like weird apps would excite me. I would love
the teeth brushing one and everything.
Yeah, I love the toothbrushing one. I end up not using it fully because one, I'm old, but honestly, not even just that I'm old. I have my toothbrush just has a time. I have other tech that's better than it.
Sure.
My toothbrush has a timer. I do want to eventually buy like a really bougie toothbrush that has its own app that does kind of what the Pokemon one does. But yeah, like that was fascinating. Pokemon Sleep was fascinating to me. I never got into it because I have better sleep trackers than what the Pokemon app is providing. Something I would love, a Pokemon Idle game. But they would never do it because I don't think they want their games on PC at all, even like spin-off games.
Oh, you mean like a desktop idle game? Oh.
Yeah. Like I would love that. That would be super great. Like stuff like that I think would be really exciting
Give
to
me
me.
a Pokemon clicker. That'd be fun.
Yeah, just like Pokemon merge game would be cool. They did they try to do something like that? It didn't work out.
That sounds
they had
familiar,
a tumble.
but I can't
didn't they
think
have a
of
tumble
anything.
game?
I know they have
Or
like
am I making that up?
Arcade, like the pinball. I know they have that.
Yeah.
Pokemon pinball.
It all kind of blurs. I would also love I guess that's kind of it. Because the other thing I'm getting distracted with I wanted a keyboard to come out for the Nintendo Switch 2 and for them to launch a typing game with it. Like a Mario teaches typing modern thing. Anyway, but yeah, those are things that would get me excited. But that's cool. And also like it's kind of basic, but the more I see about it, the more I'm kind of like, maybe we should go to that stupid Pokemon park in Japan. It's basically just a bunch of statues and bullshit. But honestly,
hey man,
the merch looked pretty good.
Yeah,
and like,
that's half.
I don't know.
Why would we want to go to Japan?
I haven't read Casey's write-up that she had on IGN. I should check that out because she went there when she was doing like I think the preview for Procopia. So I have to look into that. But anyway, that is that. And for this week, what do we have for poll of the show?
We'll be asking about your favorite games that are really probably like a 6 to 7. You know what I mean? 6, 7, 6, 7. And then also about your dream luxury car.
Yep. And with that being said, that is it for this week. You can send us your questions and topics to the email inbox@gamesandnotgames.com, which is what Alec R did for this week. You can follow the podcast version of the show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Pocket Casts, and everywhere else you get your podcasts. If you enjoyed the show, be sure to give us that 5-star rating.
5 stars.
Cinco Diamantes.
And if you're an audio listener, remember that you can get the video version over on YouTube at GamesAndNotGames. If you like the video, be sure to give us a like and leave a comment as it helps us get the show in front of more people. Excuse me. You can also give us a follow on social media. We're pretty much everywhere at GamesAndNotGames. It's mainly BlueSKy, TikTok, Twitch, and Backloggd. And anything else?
Yeah, I just thought of another Pokemon thing that would get me excited. Because I forgot, I have right next to me a Pikachu Squishmallow. So that being said, should I already use, should I already like Pokemonified? I would love like, and they have some Pokemon clothes that they sell like on the Pokemon like website, but I would love more like clothes collabs always get me excited for stuff.
Give me a Pokemon hat.
Give me a Pokemon Coach collab.
Give me Pokemon Otani. I want those two
like Shohei Ohtani,
like LA Dodger, like Otani mixed kind of thing, or like just Dodger gear. That'd be dope.
And then so stuff like anything kind of like that is exciting to me. Pokemon Pandora collab would take that.
There's got to be a Pokeball.
They don't actually have. I looked into it. They don't actually have much in the way of, if anything, in video games. They have Marvel collabs.
How do you not have
Stranger Things.
How do you not have a Pokeball?
If they had like video game collabs, would go like so hard on Pandora. I don't know why they don't do them, but yeah. So yeah, thank you for your question because I'm still thinking about it, and I'll probably keep thinking about it once we end this show. But and now I'm done for now.
All right. Well, until next time, gang.
Gang.
Peace.
Leave that in if possible. If not, it's okay.